Hello students, I am Dr. Balpreet Kaur, Associate Professor in DIPS IMT. Today we will discuss the next topic of GST chapter, that is levy and collection of CGST and SGST. And this material has been taken from the GST book written by Kanuba Jain and Charu Vinayak by Kalyani Publishers. So as we know, GST is a destination-based tax and it is levied on supply of all goods or services, except supply of alcohol liquor and 5 petroleum products: petroleum crude, motor spirit, high-speed diesel, natural gas, and aviation turbine fuel. So these are temporarily kept out, and GST Council shall decide the date from which they shall be included in the GST. Electricity has also been kept out of GST, and the structure provided under GST is dual in nature, as we have already discussed in the previous videos. So GST we can classify it into two categories. First one is intrastate and second interstate, and first one is intrastate and there is one misprinting and it is interstate. So in case of intrastate, CGST and SGST is applied, and in case of interstate, IGST, integrated goods and services tax is applied. Levy of taxes. So the following conditions should be fulfilled to levy the tax on the supply. First is there should be a supply of goods and services, and supply is of intrastate or interstate. Intrastate means location of supplier and place of supply is within the same state, and in case of interstate, location of supplier and place of supply shall be in different states. So what is supply? Supply includes all form of supply of goods and services or agree to supply for a consideration and in the course or furtherance of the business. हमने ये already topic discuss कर लिया है, तो मैं इसको दोबारा cover नहीं करूँगी. आप previous videos जो हमारी थी इस टॉपिक पे आप उनको देख लेना. So the next is levy and collection of cess. Section 8 of GST Act 2017 forms the basis for levy and collection of cess, which will be levied on or for the purpose of providing compensation to the states for the loss of revenue arising on account of implementation of the GST. और हमने कब से अप्लाई करना है? It will be applied from the date from which the provision of CGST were brought into force. So the cess is levied on such intrastate supply of goods or services and such interstate supply of goods or services which are covered under the IGST Act. The same shall be collected in such a manner as may be prescribed or on the recommendation of the Council. Next है levy and collection of CGST, SGST, IGST and UTGST. ये भी हमने already cover कर लिए हुए हैं. So next is value of levy. Transaction value is determined under Section 15 of the CGST Act, and rate of CGST, IGST, SGST and UTGST. Rate for these CGST, UTGST, SGST are the rates as may be notified by the government on the recommendation of the GST Council. The rates notified are 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. So the IGST will be approximately the sum total of CGST and SGST or UTGST. The maximum rate of CGST will be 20%, while the maximum rate of IGST is 40%. So CGST, UTGST, SGST, IGST on supply of the following items has not been levied immediately. जैसे हमने already कर चुके हैं कि जो इन 5 जो हमारी आइटम्स है इनके ऊपर अभी जो हमारा GST है वो अप्लाई नहीं होता. Then who is liable to levy tax? Firstly, in the hands of the supplier. Secondly, in the hands of the recipient of the goods under the reverse charge. So what is reverse charge? We will discuss in the next videos. Supply of goods or services or both notified by the government on the recommendation of the GST Council, and supply of taxable goods or services or both by an unregistered supply to a registered person. ये भी हम आगे वाली वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे वन बाय वन. The next is tax payable by the electronic commerce operator on notified services. So in this case, the government may notify specific categories of services. The tax on intrastate supplies and interstate supply in case of IGST, which shall be paid by the electronic commerce operator, which is also known as ECO. If such services are supplied through it, कि अगर जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर है कोई सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हैं जो जीएसटी के अंडर कवर की जाती हैं, तो इनके ऊपर टैक्स अप्लाई होगा. Such services shall be notified on the recommendation of the GST Council. So all the provisions of the relevant GST law shall be applied to such electronic commerce operators as if he is the supplier liable for paying the tax in relation to supply of such taxes. तो कुछ conditions है इनकी. First is if the ECO means electronic commerce operator, the taxable is located in taxable territory, तो कौन टैक्स पे करेगा? पर्सन लाइबल टू पे टैक्स इज द ECO. जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर है वो टैक्स पे करेगा. इफ द ECO डज नॉट हैव एनी फिजिकल प्रेजेंस इन द टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी, कि अगर उनकी वहां पे कोई फिजिकल प्रेजेंस नहीं है, इनकी बिल्डिंग नहीं है, सो कौन पे करेगा? पर्सनल लाइबल टू पे टैक्स इज द पर्सन रिप्रेजेंटिंग द ECO, कि जो पर्सन रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है ECO को वो टैक्स पे करेगा. इफ द ECO हैज नाइदर द फिजिकल प्रेजेंस और नो एनी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, जैसे हमने ऊपर किया ना, जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है उसका वो करेगा. अगर दोनों नहीं है, ना ही फिजिकल प्रेजेंस है और ना ही रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है, देन हु विल पे द टैक्स? द पर्सन लाइबल टू पे द टैक्स इज द पर्सन अपॉइंटेड बाय द ECO फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ पेइंग द टैक्सेस. जो ECO ने कोई पर्सन अपॉइंट किया होगा जो टैक्स पे करेगा, तो देन दैट पर्सन इज लाइबल टू पे द GST. So this is all about the levy and collection of GST.